Hello everyone, welcome back to Star Stable. Today we are going to be looking at the 10 most expensive horses. We will be discussing my own personal opinions about the coat colors, animations, what I like and dislike about the horses, and whether I think they are worth their price overall. Be sure to let me know in the comments your own personal opinions and what other horses I should make a video about. Starting with the least expensive horse, on this list we have the Lipizzadas for 949 star coins. Now when making this video, I wasn't sure how to go about this because there are actually a few horse breeds available at this price point, including the Lusitanos. And the next few horses on the list will all be 950 star coins. Let me know if I should do a second video with a larger sample size of horses based from price, not specific breeds, because this list barely breaks through 950 star coins, which is only around 25% of the horses in Star Stable. Alrighty, the Lipizzada. The 3 Lipizzadas that I own are actually unavailable anymore. They used to be for sale at the Jorvik open house, later merged into the Equestrian Festival, and for the last time this year, they showed themselves in Moorland. The other Lipizzadas are available at New Hillcrest. I have to say that yes, these horses are Generation 2, meaning they don't look like the Generation 3 horses now, but their coat colors aren't that bad. The animations on this horse are like any other Generation 2 model, good for its time, but not comparable to Gen 3 models. They do, however, have a special move, and I really like it for as far as Gen 2 animations can go, but I think it makes for a nice dressage horse. My favourite part of the open house is by far when they greet you at the gates. However, are they worth 949 star coins? No. Even if you love the animations and the coats, being a Generation 2 model means their price is going to be lowered soon when the Generation 3 Lipizzada comes out. And with the permanent removal of the limited edition Jorvik open house horses, I am making no promises, but I think we might see some new Lipizzadas heading our way within the next 365 days. It's important for me to note now that magical horses are not being officially included in this list. A lot of them are priced at 950 star coins, making them technically next on this list, but I got way too overwhelmed thinking about the technicalities, so I thought I'd just make a separate video for them later on. This does, however, mean the Paso Fino is number 9 on our list. Coming in at 950 star coins, the Paso Fino is the newest horse on our list. They were never seen before in Star Stable up until May 4th, 2022. I myself had never heard of the breed before and went into buying them not expecting much, but for some reason I fell absolutely in love with them. They are available at Steve's Farm, and I actually still don't own my favourite coat colour of them yet. I love the browns on this horse. The one from the Star Stable Horses app is probably runner-up for my favourite. Or equal. It probably changes every day. They have their own special mane styles, which back in the day would have been something that was super special, but now every horse is coming out with similar or the same mane styles, which I'm not mad at, nor do I think takes away the price value because time has still gone into creating those mane styles. It's just not much of a wow factor as the first time we got, say, long plaits in the game, for example. The Paso Finos actually have both a special move and a special gait, making them well worth their price in my opinion, especially when comparing them to other horses of the same price range who lack sometimes a special move or gait entirely. Even though they have these special features, I have to be honest, I am not one to use them frequently. I would love to see some more specialized horse races such as the Icelandic one, which makes use of their toll feature. I know it will be annoying if you didn't own a Paso Fino, but it's just a suggestion. Other than that, they just have nice movements. Nothing stands out to me in a painful way and I enjoy riding them. They also have one of the better jumps in the game. So, are they worth it? I think I have to say yes. Obviously, if you just don't like Paso Fino horses, you shouldn't buy this breed, but if you either love them or at least like them enough to be considering buying one, then I'd say yes. They have the fancy gimmicks making them worth more, and although I'd love to see some more coat colours, I am in love with at least a few of them. Even though it feels literally like yesterday, in 2020 the Mawari horses were released for 950 star coins as well. I literally remember filming my update video for these horses. Like, I swear it was just yesterday. I'm not usually a massive fan of thinner horses. Yep, I'm sticking to that terminology, such as the Mawari or Arabian, who are also coincidentally later on this list as well. But I have to say, I love that the team added the Mawari. Because of their unique ear formation, I think Star Stable did really well on them. It's just, I'm personally not falling head over heels for the shape of the horse. Once again, I'm not in love with every coat color either. The slight yellowish tint on this one and the liver chestnut just isn't my favorite shade either. And I've only recently come around to liking Palominos, but maybe I'll leave the dirty Palomino to grow into in future years. I say this with a grain of sugar though, because I actually own all of the horses I've just mentioned and I love them because I've given them a name and a bit of a personality in my head, and with the right outfit, they're pretty good. Just focusing on the coats though, I do really love the black one and the Pinto. Animations. I love the special move on these horses. It's super pretty in my opinion, and I love seeing pictures or dressage routines using them. The tail animation is something I want to point out because I think it looks really good. It makes sense and works really well in my opinion. The turning animation being different was something I feel we haven't seen or at least don't see often, and overall I really enjoy their animations. So does it make them worth it? I'm sorry if there is like a theme here, but I'm going to say yes. Once again, this would be a stronger yes if I liked more of the coat colors, but I think price-wise, they have a lovely special move and technically like a special turning maneuver, which would probably take longer to work on. I don't know, I'm not an animator or game designer. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, the Jorvik Frisian. Let's talk about them. As far as coats go, I actually love every single one. The brown doesn't have any weird purplish tints, and that's a win in my book. I think the main thing that comes to mind about these horses is their animation. Being a heavier horse, I can definitely see where Star Stable has tried to take these horses in that direction. I personally don't hate these animations as much as other people and maybe even yourself. Like, I actually like them. I don't know. They can, however, come across as stiff, for lack of a better describing word. The Jorvik Frisian horses definitely don't lack personality, that's for sure. I actually love the faces they pull. It can make for really funny photos. Speaking of photos, I think that the Frisian horses are really gorgeous for taking them. Their animations work really nicely in a still image, especially the idle ones. So, Jorvik Frisians, yay or nay? This one is probably an even more hesitant yay. I personally don't regret buying my Frisians, but it really depends on your reason for buying them. Icelandics coming in at number 6 for, you guessed it, 950 star coins. The Icelandics were in high demand, and I don't think Star Stable were disappointed when updating them this year. On a stranger note, the legs of these horses are nice. The updated mane and tail are literally everything on these horses, but I can't help but feel if we're talking about Icelandics, these ones lack a bit of fluff texture, but it's not a massive icebreaker when we consider the animations. Icebreaker? The animations are really nice in my opinion, but I really want to talk about the mane and tail again. Oh my gosh, are you looking at the animations of their hair? I can really tell Star Stable has put a lot of effort into the Icelandics' signature hair. It might mean that in other aspects where it could have been better, they slacked a little bit. I really don't have anything major to complain about these horses though, like, I don't know, I don't know. The Icelandics have their tolt gait and also their special gait called Flying Pace. This replaces the slow gallop in the game, so in a similar way to the Mawari, I feel this adds a certain special price value to them. The tolt is significantly slower than the old tolt, which might have been more realistic. I'm not sure, I haven't gone around timing any Icelandic tolts lately, but it does make the Icelandic race a little bit more painful. Are they worth it? I haven't said anything about the coats yet, oh my gosh. I really feel like Star Stable focused a lot on the mane and tail, and I guess it works in their favor because I do forget about everything else. Because their hair is so good, it distracts me from the fact that I am not in love with all of the coats. In saying that, the chestnut might be my favorite chestnut in the entire game. What I think I'm trying to say is that the coats don't blow me absolutely out of this world, but they are still really nice and I do like them. Back to the question though, I think they are worth it, 100%. On my scale of horses, I would put these horses probably above the Frisians and Mawaris. I'm not too sure about the other ones. The only thing with these horses is they are one of the highest player level horses required in the game, where you have to be a character level 15, and they are available in Epona, which can be difficult to unlock since the game doesn't really guide you there really clearly. With all of the other quests available at the time, I think you can get pretty lost. Making it into the big top 5 is the Arabians. I spoke briefly about them during the Mawari segment, so once again, this model of horse isn't really my favorite for some reason. Like, I don't even know why. I do, however, love them more than I thought I would. The coat colors for them are all amazing. I'm not as much of a fan of the liver chestnut, but now I'm starting to think maybe I just don't like liver chestnuts. I don't know. I actually, on many occasions, have accidentally mixed up the Arabian and Mawari from first glance. Sometimes it's just a mouth slip up. Like, does that happen to anyone else where I mean to say Arabian? I think I say Arabian, but Mawari has actually come out of my mouth. Anyways, animation wise, I would put them very similar to the Mawaris as well. I like their animations. Lovely special move. They don't have the turn thing, so I suppose that price value I put on the Mawari turning animation is lowered slightly, but are they worth 950 star coins? I was actually about to say yes, but hesitated a bit. I think they are really good, but for 950 star coins, we also have horses who have multiple special animations. Anyways, either way, I like the Arabians more than the Mawari, but for some reason I feel like they should be cheaper than them, like 920 star coins or something. It's not a lot, but for some reason it just makes sense. It's like in the shops when they say $5.99 instead of $6. That 1 cent, it doesn't matter, but it makes it feel cheaper. Let's just move on to number 4 though. The Andalusians, the oldest Generation 3 horse on our list. I feel like the Andalusians are slightly overrated in a way. They are used by so many dressage clubs, but for good reason. They do have lovely animations. I haven't been too much in the dressage scene since 2020, so maybe we have moved on and I've just missed it. This isn't anything against using the Andalusian, by the way. I love them. Continue using them. I love to see it. Coat-wise, I like a majority of them. I think they were one of the first breeds to get their own special mane being the braid, but now we don't really think of it being that special. I don't own a lot of the Andalusians either, but I would love to grow my collection, so let me know what videos I should film which involves buying some new horses, because I definitely need more of those. Are the Andalusians worth it? They do have a special move, so they are a similar price value to a lot of horses around 950 star coins. But once again, for some reason, I feel like they should be cheaper. Ever so slightly. Maybe it's just because they're older, they feel less special. Distraction. I suppose technically things go like up in value when they're older, but then cars go down in value before they might go back up, like in many years down the line. Anyways, I think this video is getting slightly unhinged. It's time for the top 3. Coming third is the American quarter horse. The quarter horse is a horse people started associating with me because back in 2020, my channel actually finally started to grow after 6 years at around the same time that Starshine Ranch came out. And don't get me wrong, I love the quarter horses. I love the coat colors. I love the animations. But are they worth 950 star coins? Yeah, sure. I personally don't use the special mane style on any of my quarter horses, but it is an option. They have a special move which was really cool at the time until Star Stable copy-pasted it onto the paint horses. I'm just kidding, jokes. Okay, coming in second is the Mustang for, you guessed it, 900, and actually maybe you didn't because we have finally broken the 950 star coin curse. The Mustang is worth a whopping 969 star coins. The real question is, are they actually worth the 19 star coins more? Well, our second generation 2 horse of the list, so you might know what I'm going to say. But for that, as far as coat colors go, I actually really love the coat colors of these horses. They have great potential, and I hope some of my favorites are used when we get the updated models. They have that signature smooth looking coat of a Generation 2 horse, which I think is what makes them look slightly cheaper, if that makes sense. The Mustang might have been the first horse to have a special move if I'm remembering correctly, or at least I feel like special moves still weren't expected on every horse at the time. I actually really like the animations. Obviously as a Gen 3 they would automatically look better, but I don't hate these horses at all. So 950 Star Queens? Well, just like the Lipizzadas, sure, back when they were first released they would have been the best of the best, but now I think it's worth waiting for their price to drop whilst we wait for updated models. So, are you guys ready for number 1? I know I am. Coming in as the most expensive horse in Star Stable is the Jorvik Wild Horse. These horses are one of my favorite horses in the game because I love how Star Stable was able to form their own breed. There was no right or wrong. Let's talk fluff. Oh my gosh. These horses have such gorgeous manes and tails as well. And not only in looks, but animations. I never get tired of them leaning their head down and the mane falling with it. Oh my gosh. In terms of animations in general as well, I think they are really nice. The Jorvik Wild Horse has this like cuteness to it. They have like bouncy gaits and I just love how fun they feel. Although I love the coat colors, I think it's been so long I'm craving more. Once again, I love having blue horses and the Star Stable team being able to have creative liberty for that. I would love to have more color options though. Maybe a purple tipped horse? I know colors aren't for everyone, believe me. There's only so many blue outfits I want to make. But even if I love the concept of these horses, are they worth the 975 star coins Star Stable is asking for them? Well, in May of 2021, Star Stable made the decision to remove a feature known as cold tolerance from the game. As much as I respect and understand the decision to do as they want with their vision of their game, I personally liked the feature. Yes, it was annoying, and just because I liked the feature, it doesn't mean I was prepared every day on a cold tolerant horse. But the feature added a sense of realism and get this, price value. I'm treating horses like houses at this point. You have a better view, you get a bigger price. Cold tolerant horses would cost more than regular horses. This was more noticeable back a few years ago, but in my opinion, since the Jorvik Wild Horse was released in 2020, prior to the feature's removal, I feel like this had an effect on the price. I personally don't see where the extra 15 star coins goes to. If we are comparing horses, the Jorvik Wild Horse has both special gait and movement, unique mane styles and everything, but get this, so does the Paso Fino, which is priced at 950 star coins. The only other horse which might have had the cold tolerant feature would have been the Icelandic, but being released after the removal of cold tolerance, I didn't even think of it impacting the price like the Jorvik Wild Horse. I'm honestly not that mad since I know it's just 15 star coins. I just struggle to understand how horses in the game are priced sometimes. Once again, I don't get that mad at the prices anyways because I've come to accept it. I'm grateful to be able to afford the horses and be able to make videos such as this one for you guys. But that's the end for the 10 most expensive horses in the game. Let me know in the comments below what we should look at next and whether you found this video even remotely interesting. Maybe it helped you decide which horse to buy. If you want to see another video similar to this one, then on the screen right now there is a video where I looked at the top 10 horse breeds that I need in Star Stable that are not in the game yet.